connected through the website. If you go to the home page of the website, or if you go to the class page of the website, there's banner links in there that you can click on, and it will take you right to the directory for all the classes that's been recorded. And if you go to YouTube and you go into the search, Breakfast with the Bible, it'll take you to all of them. I think currently there's about a dozen or so classes in there. They've been edited, and because you can't dump the whole hour on there, what you have to do is you have to divide it up into less than 2 gigabytes or less than 15-minute slots. So it gets divided up. And with all the delays and everything we have in the class, we usually end up with about 3 for the class. It's about 3 segments. And I also separate out the guest speakers. So all that's over there on YouTube. Let's see. Last week we were talking about the Second Temple, and there was a question that was brought up. Did Nehemiah have participate in that? Well, Nehemiah's participation was not in the temple per se. It was, I was going to get a bigger map, but like I said, I can't get on the internet at the moment. But this is Old Jerusalem. This is the perimeter of Old Jerusalem, and you can see the old gates all the way around it. Where he worked at was at the north gate up here. Temple's in the center, and there's the north gate, also known as the Sheep's Gate. Not to be confused with Sheep's Gate. Sheep's Gate. Don't be a sheep gate, huh? Okay. Try saying that fast 3 times then. But I can make it bigger, but it'll break down. The pixel will break down. Starts breaking down. But it's this gate up here that he worked on, the wall. So, in a sense, he was working on it because he's protecting the temple, but he's not working on it directly because he's up here. Why did they give him all these different designations? Because that's usually what they were designed to accommodate. And what does that one look like? If you were up close and personal, you would see right there on the bottom. Yeah. There it is. I always remember by these 3 marks here. This is the slots where the
Cheapskates out in front.
And you see how narrow it is. Relatively narrow. Some of these, they're designed to accommodate specific things. So it also acts as a restraining feature for somebody trying to attack it, doesn't it? Because it creates an bottleneck trying to get through there. So if you storm the gate and you have to go through single file, well, you're in trouble, aren't you? It won't take a whole lot of guys to stop you when you got a 1,000-man army back here. In fact, did you see the movie 300? Anybody? No? When they were trying to stop them at that pass, that's exactly how the 300 stopped the Persian army. It's because it was a narrow pass. So if you can only have a small amount of men coming through that narrow pass, a real powerful group of men, even if they're a small bunch like 300, can stop a whole army from trying to come through here. They just keep killing the bunches in front. Boom, 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 boom. So it doesn't matter if the column goes all the way back to the horizon. You just keep killing the guys in front and throw them to the side. Kill these guys in front, throw them to the side. You know. you remember how that finally worked out in the movie 300 was that they came over the top of the mountain. They got a spy that found the path of the top of the mountain and came over that way that ended up attacking them. So, anyway, that's the sheep.
It seems to me, I was just reading about Jesus going into the temple just before his death, but not immediately before, but he was going to teach. And that's the gate that he went in through.
Now look at this, the way the arch is and the way the opening is. Does that remind you of anything? How about the eye of a needle? Not really? Eye of a needle?
It's like the LA Coliseum.
Yeah.
Or the parking lot
where they talk about a camel through the eye of a needle. Some interpreters say, oh well, instead, what it should be, and since the word camel in Greek is very similar to a rope through the eye of a needle, but trying to get camels through the wrong gate would be a problem. So, eye of a needle, camel. The reference could be because of going through the wrong gate, going to the wrong place. So it's important to have those kinds of perspectives. Doug, let's see. We've got a speaker. You're talking about a speaker in March coming for us?
Yes. March 27th. It's our mission weekend. You'll be hearing more about it. And in the morning here will be Keith Carey, who is the managing editor of Global Prayer Digest, which is a monthly publication. And I think it's really super. About missions. They do a different country every issue every month, and they divide it into each day. So there's a talk about a particular people group, and then some prayer points, and it's a good devotional as well as very informative. Anyway, he's down at the U.S. Center of World Mission in Pasadena. If you haven't heard of that, we want you to become familiar with that. U.S. Center of World Mission. Ralph Winter was the founder of the organization. They're on the old Pasadena Nazarene campus. They bought that campus.
I went to school there.
Oh, did you really? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm telling you, it was when your school moved down to San Diego, became Point Loma, they were selling this, and a what do you call it? A group, non-believers. What of it?
Secular.
Yes, but worse than secular. They were religious. Wrong. Yeah.
Cult?
Not atheists, but
Cult?
Cult. That's the word I wanted. A cult group was going to buy it. Was in best position to do it, and Nazarene was really upset because they prayed over these buildings for years, and now the only buyer they had was somebody that was going to preach a different gospel, and so we had to walk around that campus to raise money to be able to. And boy, I'm telling you, that was a faith effort on the part of Winter, Ralph Winter, but they got it. And it became the U.S. Center of World Missions. And wow, what a ministry that is. In fact, now that you mention it, well, you didn't mention it, did you? It would be a neat field trip for us to take sometime. Just a group of us together to go down to that campus, and I can make contact with somebody ahead of time, and they could give us a tour of all the ministries that are going on centered.
Now, did everyone hear him say that it would be a good thing for us all to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Doesn't that seem like a project that somebody should
Somebody who has nothing else to do.
Yeah.
All in favor of letting Doug head that project?
Well, seriously.
Eyes have it, Doug.
That happens.
You can get some details on it, we'll work together, we'll do that.
Week after week, I mentioned something and you immediately. That's a good technique of a leader. You get the guy that brings up the idea.
I learned from the best.
Anyway,
If
Keith,
you give it to him to make a brief announcement,
Yeah.
10 minutes later, he's still talking. Proposing ideas.
anyway, Keith Carey will be here in 5 minutes.
That's where we
Hey, you know the
started.
sad thing about that? The crop walk that was advertised in the service this morning got changed. A long involved thing, it's nobody's fault, but they couldn't do the date that they were going to do, and so they've had to change it to a different date. And they changed it to the 27th. So all these churches, all these crop walk. It won't affect us, I don't think, too much, because most of our stuff happens in the morning and the night before. But the youth meeting is Sunday afternoon, and they always go on the crop walk, so it's wiped out. This Keith Carey was going to present here and then present to our youth at 12:30. So be informed
Best
about
laid
that.
plans by muscle men.
It just grieves me so much. A missions effort with as much energy as this one is taking, and our youth have zero impact with it. Just-
Youth can't meet with us or something earlier?
Well, that's what I'm going to suggest to Jeff,
Yeah.
that he try and get his kids to come to here
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah.
That's what you said to Jeff.
That's the. That's the crop walk.
Crop walk, yeah.
Okay, because I've already contacted him about next week, about them, when we have Teen Challenge in Piper Hall next week. So, if you're gonna see him again, you might tell him that, you know, there's several things on the calendar that are noteworthy for the.
Does our thing next week impact his regular meeting at 12:30? You want to invite them to come, is that what you're doing?
Yes, you got my email, right?
I got the email, I know the facts, but I don't
Okay,
see the
and
connection.
I sent one to Jeff,
Okay.
and I emailed him specifically.
For what reason? Why did you email him? That's the part I'm missing.
Okay, the Teen Challenge is gonna be over there, and to be sure to remind his youth that they're invited.
Yeah. They might get in the habit of coming at 10:30.
That's fine. That's fine.
It would be worse habit for them.
Put the kids there, put the teens there, okay, more the merrier, I'm happy.
Ed, can I borrow your duct tape for just a minute?
These brief announcements go on, don't they?
Okay, all right.
You ought to be on the mission commission. This is bad.
Our food today is basically a Jewish French toast. Now, again, they're going to use the challah bread, and I substitute the French bread for that. Very similar. You're going to have here's your basic ingredients. You're going to have milk. You're going to have heavy cream, raisins, brown sugar, vanilla, salt, corn syrup, bread, butter, and eggs. Now this is a two-day, two-step, recipe. And so you got to have a little time. You're not going to say in the morning, hey, how about some Jewish French toast for breakfast? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Well, it happens in my house.
Not Jewish French toast.
Way to go, Barbara.
And the dinner.
So, what you're going to do is first in a saucepan, you're going to take your butter and your syrup and your brown sugar, and you're going to melt them together. Got about a cup of sugar there, got one stick of butter, and about 2 tablespoons of syrup. Now, you're going to melt this under a low temperature. Sometimes a double boiler is good so you don't scorch it. But if you just have it on a low temperature, it